What's that sound? It's For Amusement Only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast.
Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. Tonight I wanted to talk about Bally's 1932 three-ring Circus. Now there's an entry for three-ring Circus from Rockola Manufacturing as well, and it's possible that they sub-licensed it out, but Bally was the designer and manufacturer of three-ring Circus as far as anybody knows. Now this game is unique and interesting. It's not unique per se, but it was the first game to bring a backboard marquee that gave awards in money for various scores supplied from the factory. Now, it's possible that other manufacturers had some kind of underground or under-the-table deal with distributors and provided them with these kind of replay for money exchange cards, but this is the first time that in the short history of pinball production this was an advertised feature. Now this marquee has 5 columns of 5 sets of scores. So that's 25 different combinations that will award some monetary value. The gameplay is that you have 8 chances to win one of these scores. And if you do, then you would exchange it with the bartender or whomever for money. Let's talk about the playfield layout. How are you supposed to achieve these scores? And then we'll talk about the scores themselves. And if I'm able to actually read it, I'll tell you what the payouts are. But the playfield is made up of 3 sets of circles, as you might imagine from the title Three-Ring Circus, that contain various pockets for the ball to fall in and shaped with pins to direct the flow of the ball. There are also 6 troughs that the balls can fall into that will score different values. And then various holes set up around the playfield, usually on either side of the large central holes, which will provide various different scores. The highest scoring value on the playfield is 600 points. And that's for the bottom circle in the center. Likely the hardest shot to make. There's another hole that's marked as 600 points, and that is, in my opinion, an even more difficult shot to make because it only allows one ball to fit in. And this is to the bottom right of that larger 600 circle. Looks to be about 3 or 4 inches away. And you'd have to bank the ball on the outside and nudge it over to this hole or bounce it off of the pins that surround the right edge in order to get it in there. It'd be very difficult. Now, the playfield is primarily red when you look at it. That's the first color that really pops out. But the field is actually tan or yellow. Inside of that inset are the 3 circles, which have a blue center with a red 8-pointed star pointing out from inside of that. The first circle is surrounded by a circle of white, as is the last circle, and the middle circle is surrounded by a circle of gold. And then all three of the circles are edged with orange, and large red diamonds protrude from underneath each circle. There are also light and dark blue triangles which come in from the left and right sides, and then there's a field of green in the spaces between. It's a very attractive game as far as the colors chosen and their placement. Now let's talk about the scoring. The lowest score threshold that would earn a prize is 1,900 points. In increments of 100 points, it goes up all the way to 4,300 as the max. Now, the money paid off is actually paid in trade for some good or service that the location provides. And so the amount shown on the back of the marquee is kind of an indication of the value to the location. It's a funky way to get around actually listing money. But in reality, that's what it was exchanged for. Because things have worth. Even if you paid somebody directly in cups of coffee or, shots of whiskey or whatever, that has worth too. So, looking at the flyer, the price for this was $19.75. So the price has gone up from bingo in 1931, just 1 year later. It's an extra $3. However, looking at this game, it looks like there's an extra $3 just in hardware. The cabinet has both a lifter and a shooter instead of the combo on bingo, and it's got this back box marquee. So tonight I thought I'd read from the flyer again, because I find these flyers fascinating for these older games. Some of the verbiage chosen and the word order is intriguing to me. So, 3-Ring Circus, the reward-paying pin game. At last it's here, the reward-paying pin game. The game that will bring dead locations back to life and make your best locations better. 3-Ring Circus will cause more excitement than your locations have ever seen. It's a thrilling, rousing game, a carnival of fun, a carousel of sport and hilarity, and everyone has 26 chances to win a prize. Imagine it. There's no waiting till the end of the week to see who made the highest score. There's no doubts or suspicions that the prize might not be given to the rightful winner. When a person plays 3-Ring Circus, he knows at once whether he's won or not. The scorecard on 3-Ring Circus carries 26 prize numbers, both high and low scores. An aside, I only see 25, and I've read that back box several times now. But I'm sure there's something obvious that I'm missing. Or maybe not so obvious. Okay, so back to the flyer. The player tests his skill. He tries to make one of the numbers posted on the card. The fascination of the game makes him keep on trying again and again. If you're an operator, you know it takes prizes to simulate pin game play. That's why location owners have been offering rewards for high score or low score, or for scores higher than a certain number. Even this unscientific method produced results. Imagine then what 3-Ring Circus will do. 3-Ring Circus is a scientific game. The numbers on the card were not taken at random. They were selected with mathematical accuracy. These numbers will win often enough to keep the players in a frenzy of excitement, but not so often as to materially lessen the huge profits this game takes in. 3-Ring Circus is usually placed on the following basis. 40% for the operator, 40% for the location owner, and 20% for payoffs. The location owner awards all prizes and the payoff averages 20%. It's usually less, meaning extra profit for the location owner, and he pays off in merchandise. Three-Ring Circus is a scientific game that pays a reward for skill. It can instantly be changed to a straight pin game by simply removing the scorecard, and you'll find it the most fascinating game you've ever operated. 2 cards come with the machine. One is liberal, the other conservative. The liberal card pays out more often than the other and stimulates play. You may use either card you choose. Included are also small 3x6 inch cards, which can be kept on the counter if the large card is too conspicuous. Talk about profits. Here are profits you never dreamed could be made with any pin game. Folks play Three-Ring Circus because they've got something to shoot at, something to try for. Entirely aside from the fun that's to be had in playing Three-Ring Circus, the players have an extra big incentive in the 26 prizes. It's a double appeal that's proving the sensation of the coin machine era. Get your Three-Ring Circus now. Put it in your worst location, the location that's been dead for weeks. Watch play revive. Watch profits roll in. Watch the fun and excitement as players try for prizes. Within 7 days, you'll be convinced that Three-Ring Circus is the mightiest moneymaker you ever owned. If you're not convinced in 7 days, then send the machine back and we'll refund every penny of your money. That's fair, isn't it? Then join the parade. Send your order in today. A number of Three-Ring Circus machines were placed on location to test their appeal before we offered the game to operators. Every single one made tremendous profits. Here are some typical results. Machine A, located in Indiana, took in $22.45 the first day. Machine D, located in Michigan, took in $45.15 the first week, $52.10 the second week, and $64.80 the third week, a steady increase. Machine H was placed in a poor location, a small restaurant in Ohio, yet it paid for itself in 4 days and took in $37.60 in the next 10 days. Machine N was located in a cigar store in Maine. It took in $55 in 5 days. The play is increasing daily. Machine S was placed in a hotel lobby in Wisconsin where 4 other machines were already installed. Three-Ring Circus took the play completely away from the other 4 games and brought in more money than all the others combined ever did. Similar amazing results were reported from every Three-Ring Circus placed on location. Well, there you have it. I find it very interesting that they placed some of their test results in the flyer, if in fact those are to be believed. Beyond that, the outright admission that this is gambling is pretty intriguing as well. Having these separate cards that can be kept behind the bar is really rather interesting. So this game in particular is pretty interesting for the era and the beginning of the payout pinball era, really. Even though it did not automatically pay out, it did provide the player an indication from the factory of what the payoff should be. Well, that's all for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. My name again is Nick Baldridge. You can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com, or you can call me on the Bingos line. That's 724-BINGOS1, 724-246-4671. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, via RSS, on Facebook, on Twitter at Bingo Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at nbaldridge, or you can listen to us on our website, which is foramusementonly.libsyn.com. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.